Welcome to the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. We're in Lyons, Colorado, and we're getting ready to go into a place that everybody told me, if you're going to be in Colorado, you have to go to. And that is Lyons Classic Pinball. It says we're supposed to come play. Let's go play. All right, here we are in the front room of Lyons Classic Pinball. Look at this blend of games that we have here. It is truly a neat place. We've got our Rick and Morty. But look at this. TNA gets its own private starlit room. We enter into our next room. Oh, how fun. Andromeda. You're an Addams Family. Mousing around. Star Trek. Jurassic Park. Mandalorian. We get into the rock and roll room. So it's really neat to see how you can walk around in this place and just get such a blend of games. Look at this. It's our Hercules. That is a big game. We're bound to be playing that here in a little bit. And you just got to be impressed by the diversity of games. There's a cover girl right next to an 8-ball. And then we're going to travel into the front room. And once we get into the front room, we've got a strikes and spares. We've got people who are top rated in the state who are here playing.
Oh, give me a ball save. I don't want that ball. Wouldn't be very nice.
We got our Walking Dead sitting next to a Prospector. Our Batmans. As well as a Congo. A Game of Thrones. And a great little Sea Witch. There is something for everybody up here at Lyons Classic Pinball. Hi, Glenn Hoffman.
Dee Dee Macin.
Dee Dee Macin. And who is Dee Dee Macin up here at Lyons?
I am the pinball ambassador for Lyons Classic Pinball.
That is awesome. So is the how do you become the ambassador of a pinball location?
Well, I think in order to become the ambassador, I first had to fall in love with Lyons Pinball.
Okay.
I was a customer first and fell in love with this place and had been bugging both the previous owner and the new owner to hire me forever, and eventually I got my shot at it.
So does an ambassadorship come with any duties? I mean, what do you do up here then, Mrs. Ambassador?
Well, I do everything from come open and close the operations. I turn everything on, which actually with 54 machines can take quite a bit of time. But I do the cleaning, I do maintenance on the machines, I do repairs, flipper rebuilds, put on new rubbers, anything it takes to keep them running well. But I feel my most important duty is to make sure that everyone that walks through the door has a wonderful and fun, safe experience here.
Okay, so how does that work? How do you do that?
I first of all greet them with a friendly smile.
Okay.
if I'm willing to open up the games and show them oftentimes how they work inside. A lot of people have never seen the interior of a pinball machine, so they are very fascinated to see the operations. I had a really wonderful experience last weekend with a family. I know we've all had the experience where a ball gets stuck while playing.
Sure.
And as a matter of fact, this family had told me they had already broken a machine at another location and then came down the mountain to play, and all they did was get the ball stuck. And one of the neat things about coming here is because we're familiar with the machines, we can open them up, we can unstick the ball. The guy helped hold the glass while I got the ball loose. The daughter held it on the flipper so it was ready to play. And as I was walking away, they said, that was the coolest experience ever. And so that's what I try and do. I try and make it fun for everyone.
Well, that's neat, yeah, because I can just see it right now where so many people have never really seen anything like that. And that's what also makes this place unique, because it's pinball and only pinball. You know, like nowadays we see a lot of barcades, you know, and plenty of other side activities, but this is pinball.
No, we are truly, this was born out of a passion for pinball, and that is exactly what we have here, is a passion. We are pinball enthusiasts here. And I like to also call myself a pinball evangelist.
An evangelist, too. You've got some great titles. You have the best titles of anybody in pinball.
It sounds so much better than just being a regular manager / operator. You can do that anywhere, you know.
So what does a pinball evangelist do?
You share your passion and love for the game, the hands-on feel of it. The fact that even though some of the machines do have video displays, the fact that you're not really in front of a screen necessarily, a video monitor, that you're doing something mechanical and hands-on. So, and that's, so many people, we work on the machines while we're open. So a lot of times people will come in and the play field will be up and they'll see us working on the machines, and yeah, it gives them a whole new appreciation and understanding for the game. We also will give them pointers about rule sets and what shots, and for instance, people like to play the games for different reasons. One of my favorite things to do is not so much getting the highest score, but getting the multi-ball. So a lot of times that's what I'll instruct people on, is how these are the shots you get to make the multi-ball, because I love the chaotic anxiety caused by a multi-ball.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think that's where the designers also built that in, as to this is the window of how to also score more points. So even though you're not teaching them how to chase points, ultimately by getting them in the multi-ball,
exactly,
you're helping them get those scores that they're looking for.
Exactly, and so I like to, teach them about the games as well. And, I will do things, for instance, we have the machine Hercules here, which is a rare machine. It's giant. It's the largest machine ever made. And, if a lot of times people will walk in the room and just go, whoa, and I'll just say, that's the largest pinball machine ever made.
Right.
And I provide education for them as well.
So this place has been here for quite a while then, because I remember seeing a stream of like IFPA championships with like a Keith Elwin here playing like Wheel of Fortune or whatever. So how long has this place been here then as pinball, and can you take us through some of the history of who owned it originally, who owns it now, and how that whole progressed? Because you said both owners.
Yes. So this place was originally opened by Kevin and Carol Carroll, and they had a vision at a time when you didn't find a lot of pinball arcades out there, and he was always a pinball collector and enthusiast, and this was a dream of his, to just open a place that focused on pinball and not video arcade games. And so They operated this place as a labor of love, really, for about 17 years until COVID hit.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we were one of the first places to be shut down. Of course, pinball was considered non-essential, and
Okay.
because we are not a restaurant, we were one of the last places that got authorization to reopen. So again, in the early days of COVID, no one had any idea how long it would last, and about 4 or 5 months in, he decided to close the business. So the new owner, who played here regularly in our pinball league, and had as much of a passion for Lyons Classic Pinball as most of us do here, he just was so sad at the thought of this place going away and decided to invest in it at a time when he couldn't even open the business. And
Wow.
so it is truly
So who is the new owner then?
and that is Ryan Wanger.
So that name I'm familiar with.
Yes, he's one of the top players in the country, actually. He does travel around and compete in tournaments. We do host a weekly league here on Thursday nights. We also have monthly tournaments. So we do a monthly open tournament and also a strictly women's tournament.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what prompted the women's tournament?
Well, oftentimes you find many of the top players, it's a very male-dominated field for competitive pinball. So there's actually a group out of Denver called Bells and Chimes. So there's a group of women players that have gotten together in Colorado where we wanted to compete amongst each other. And I actually really enjoy the women's tournaments. I find they're very supportive of each other, and the competition, I don't know, there's a lot, it's a lot friendlier competition. One of the things I'd even like to do is start a children's tournament at some point, so they can come and play, and you know, everybody of course would get a prize, but it also would be competitive with people doing well, you know.
Well, it's not hard to believe because some of the best players that actually hang out in this place, some of them started quite young.
Yes, as a matter of fact, and I know the rankings change constantly, but Escher Leckhoff, who's one of the top players in the world, and I've heard he may be number one at this point.
Okay.
But I know
depends on when someone's watching this, but yeah, so hopefully let's go number one.
He has been number one,
Right.
and he's 19 or 20 years old, but he started playing here when he was 3. So this is kind of his home arcade, and he grew up playing here.
Wow, wow. So this is his home turf. So that's kind of very cool when you think about that. That somebody 3. So how does a 3-year-old reach the flippers?
Step stools. We have step stools under the machines, and we have young-uns come here and play all the time, and they absolutely, even if they don't know what they're doing and just kind of hitting the flippers, they have so much fun. Well, you know, a lot of kids are drawn to the older electric mechanical machines. They do enjoy, I think they like the fact that they're a quarter.
Okay. Because how much are games here?
25 cents to $1, depending, you know, on the investment in the machine, the age of the machine, the popularity of the machine. We do try and keep it very affordable for everyone here. That's why we do still have machines that pay for 25 cents. We want, you know, a young kid to be able to come in here for $1 and have a good time for, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, and just have it be the most exciting 15 to 20 minutes of their day.
So anything big coming on up at Lyons Classic Pinball that everybody should know about? I know it'll be, who knows when people will actually watch this, is it this year or next year, but is there something coming on up that we should know about?
Absolutely. The big thing coming up is state championships for Colorado. For the first time, Lyons Classic Pinball will be holding them in January of 2023.
Okay.
And we're holding we're hosting both the all-around championships and the women's championships. So I'm really excited for that.
Wow.
And we also do monthly tournaments. We have our open tournaments the second Saturday of every month at 3 p.m. and then the women's is the third Saturday of every month at 3 p.m. So.
And then we have weekly league.
And we have weekly league on Thursday nights, and it's a 10-week league, so we basically open up our league 3 times a year. So.
That is awesome. Dee Dee, thank you so much. This is magical. We love being here, and we love talking to you, and we look forward to just seeing all the great things that keep happening up here at Lyons Classic Pinball.
Well, thank you so much for coming to visit us here at Lyons Classic, and I hope you do have some time to enjoy some of our games this afternoon, because
we always sneak in a few games.
Because it really is a special place, and I love that you use the word magic, because that is what this place is to me. It is a magical place.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Appreciate it. Please visit our sponsor, Comet Pinball. Comet Pinball has what you need to make your dim machines look better than new. They have the largest selection of bulbs from the exotic to the mundane, and even their exclusive matrix lighting system, which makes it easy to boldly add lighting where no lighting has gone before. Visit cometpinball.com. Hi,
How's it going,
Glenn
man?
Hoffman.
Austin Red.
Austin. So from what I understand, here at Lyons, you are one of the regulars, the number 1, 2, 3 guy, or who are you in the process of being up here at Lyons?
I mean, top group at league all the time, but we got some really good players, so you know.
So who are you playing against then?
We got the Lefkoff, so Adam Escher plays, Ryan Wanger, Walt Wood comes up here, Donovan, Stepp, the McCarthy family, so we have the little kid to deal with, Zach, he's like 14, and I don't know how old he is now, he'll always be like a child, but he just destroys you, it's crazy.
Yeah?
You know, he's like...
So that's Escher, right?
No, Zach's number 24, Escher's number 1,
right?
Zach's 24, Walt's 55.
And you play against all of them on a regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, we have a monthly, so our monthly tournament's tomorrow.
Okay.
Walt will come up here probably and maybe win it. And, you know, he wins most of the things he plays in. And, yeah, we get a good turnout, like 30 people or so. And there's always someone...
Every week?
Oh,
or
no,
every
month. Yeah,
every month, okay.
There's always someone in the top 100. I mean, there's a tournament in Colorado every week. It's a great place to play.
It's awesome. Well, my goal is whenever we're traveling around, is I have a bunch of questions for you about this place.
All right.
But at the same point in time, it's always fun to play a game of pinball because that's what this is all about. So today we picked Black Knight.
All right.
What do you think of Black Knight?
It's the only game that I've ever conceded on. It was to Escher. He was just standing here casually talking to me, and he had like 3 million. He was like, dude, I can do this all day. Do you want to keep playing? So it was the only game I've ever forfeited.
Okay. Well, then let's do this. You and I are going to play, and if you get 3 million in front of me, then I will sit here and just I'll concede to you, and that way the world will be balanced. All right?
Sure. Yeah.
So let's load us up. Get a couple games in there.
All right, let's go. I don't know if I'll get 3 million, but we'll
all right.
see
Well,
what
at
happens
least
here.
that's where we're going to at least see how it goes. So,
All right.
So now how did you ever get into pinball? What is pinball to you?
All right, so I used to do a lot of degenerate things with my life, and pinball has been a thing that got me away from that. I was, doing bad things for a lot of years, drugs and all that.
And so pinball made a difference? How did that make a difference?
I mean, it gave me a community of people. Met Ryan through just going to his old location in Boulder.
So Ryan is the owner of Comet?
Yeah, Ryan Wanger. He's, we're doing great.
We're killing it.
Yeah, Ryan Wanger's the dude. He's the owner of Comet Pinball, and he bought Lyons. He used to operate games in Boulder at Press Boy. It was a little college bar out there. There we go. And yeah, so I met him one night when I was down there, and you know, ditched all my old friends because they were bad for me, and met a great community of people through pinball. And it's, you know, been a really awesome experience to, you know, get to know these people, and like this is where like my community is now. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people with the same kind of situation where they just, you know, we're a bunch of misfits that play pinball, you know, so we come out here and find our community of weirdos, and it's pretty great.
Wow, I think that's awesome. Now, also, you are rated in the state and stuff like that as a player, or didn't I hear you won a major Colorado event, or?
Yeah, we do a really fun thing out here called Dory Hill.
Okay.
We rent out a big campground up by Blackhawk, so it's kind of in the mountains, and we bring a bunch of games up there and camp for a couple nights and play pin golf.
Wow.
And there's like 120 of us. It's like the biggest tournament in the state usually, and I got 4th, which was really awesome. I was with Zach McCarthy and Escher, and Donovan was the company in the top of that tournament. So it's pretty
good company to be in.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think, you know.
Well, it's crazy that you're hauling pinball machines while camping. I mean, I've never even heard of that. And then to up the difficulty, I mean, we are right here in the Rocky Mountains. So, I mean, is it difficult getting pinball machines into a campsite, or how does that all work?
So you know, it's like a campground. It's glamping. You know, they got some cabins up there. It's you know, it's not what you think of as Colorado camping. We aren't taking backpacks, and you know, they got some cabins, and you know, we put the cabins have porches on them.
Okay.
We throw a couple games on the porch.
No way.
And then yeah, there's a big pavilion, you know, where they normally make food and stuff. I guess we pack it with machines, and you know, we I don't know. There's quite a few games out there. A lot of people bring them, and it's fun because you get to play on, you know, machines that you don't normally get to play on. Like some of the people in the community are like great at restoring games, and you know, unless you get invited to their house, you don't get to see their beautiful work. So we have like Basil, one of the guys that we play with, had a Fathom that he restored, and it was beautiful. So we got to play his game, and you know, every year it's different.
Everybody talked about the mix of the games, and there's so many. You know, here we are playing Black Knight, which was when we first started getting into pinball. That was the game that if someone was going to own a game at home, and it wasn't that common for a game to be owned at home.
Yeah,
it was always
this.
Get a Black Knight. That's.
Oh, bonus! Here we go. Yeah, I mean, we are very lucky. Ryan tries to have like a game from, you know, basically every decade. So we have something from the 50s. Cover Girl's right over here. We have, you know, lots of solid states. It's kind of hard to go to places and find solid states because they don't make a lot of money for owners. You know, people would rather play Star Wars and all these fun themes if they're not like a pinball person.
Yeah.
So
now the games around here, they seem like they're in great shape also. Does it benefit us that this is owned by a man who owns a light bulb company, or especially a pinball light company, or?
Yeah, so Ryan is he owns a Comet Pinball, and he's also a great player. So, you know, we have a lot of good players around here that know how games should play and be set up. And then obviously it's nice to be able to see when you're playing. So all the light kits and stuff that Comet tests, we get very lucky because they build them, and you know, they install them in their own games when they build them. And those games generally happen to be here. So, you know, when Comet's like, oh, we got this new Spider-Man kit or something.
Okay.
You know, then like, the Spider-Man that's in the other room will probably get that kit thrown in there so that, you know, they can test it out, make sure everything works for everyone. And that, I think, is something that we kind of take for granted until you go somewhere else and you can't see on the old games.
Yeah. Hey, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for playing with us. Thanks for giving me some lessons on Black Knight and about everything that's happening up here at Lyons. This is really a magical place.
Yeah, it's wonderful. A lot of people love it here. It's you know, good community, good people, good times.
Rock on. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, of course, man. Thank you.
Thank you. So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that at the foothills of the Colorado Rockies is a place that is just for pinball, which is pretty darn exciting. But it can also be so much more for the people who are there. It can become their family. It can be the thing that saves their lives. And I don't know that people always think about the fact that, you know, in a day and age when we know we need to talk about mental health issues and we tell people what they're supposed to do, but sometimes we just need to have an outlet, a place, a family. And that's what Lyons Classic Pinball is. It's family. It's a beautiful place. Check it out. Do not forget to check us out. Remember to like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing where this adventure takes us to next. See you next time.